This afternoon to you, Patricia de Lille had lauded this briefing today as one way she was going to make an announcement of national importance. Did it live up to the hype?
Well, I don't think anyone was really holding his or her breath. It was always expected that Patricia de Lille, a political animal for more than 27 years, was ultimately going to announce a reincarnation somehow of a fiercely independent political self. Remember, this was a woman who was a firebrand in the National Assembly for the Pan-Africanist Congress and the Independent Democrats, and then going to the DA, now saying that she will be launching a new political movement. As of yet, this political movement has no name, it has no real identity, has no real branding, but she says in the next few weeks she and a team are formulating that messaging and saying that in a few weeks' time they will be announcing a new name for this political party with intentions to contest the 2019 general elections, not only nationally, not only in the Western Cape, but in all 9 provinces, with Patricia de Lille saying she's considering contesting for the position of Western Cape Premier. She had been the mayor of the city of Cape Town for just over a full term. I think it's about 7 or 8 years. She was a mayor of the city of Cape Town. So knowing the Western Cape political terrain quite well is Patricia de Lille. But this announcement, all but expected, following her resignation as Cape Town mayor and from the DA 2 weeks ago.
But it's not going to be an easy thing to do for Patricia de Lille, as established as she is in the Western Cape, Lester, because you look at her foothold in that province when we are just under 6 months away from the general election. How is this new unnamed party going to set up structures in the 8 other provinces? Who does she have on her team? Are the names big enough to secure her significant gains in those parts of the country?
Well, your guess is as good as mine, Tembekile. Now, Patricia de Lille saying that they already have people on the ground, they already have names that they could raise to contest in those elections, which does bring a clue that this is not something that Patricia de Lille had been mulling over the last 2 weeks, which she said she'd take 2 weeks off to consider her future. This is something that had been planned weeks, if not months in advance. And Patricia de Lille really saying that they want to really look at how her party, her new political party, does politics. She's very short on details here, but she's saying that she's sort of trying to build a grassroots movement with supporters, and not only members of the party, but supporters having a say on not only the policy, but also the direction of this new party. The former Cape Town mayor being very spare on details, saying that she would want some time, a little more than 2 weeks, so that she can formulate, along with her team, which she is yet to announce, formulate those policy discussions, those policy platforms, and also the overall structure of this new political party, saying that that will be announced in just a few weeks' time, with an election bid being kicked off in January 2019.
Scant on detail as Patricia de Lille was this afternoon, Lester, one thing is clear: the war between the former Cape Town mayor and the DA is far from over. She's even said this afternoon that she's given them a bloody nose several times before, yet they don't seem to learn.
Well, I think what one must be clear here is that in the past few weeks and months, Patricia de Lille was squarely up against the Democratic Alliance. Now, with her intention to contest a general and provincial elections, she has now enemies in all political parties. She's now up against the ANC, the EFF, as well as the DA, particularly here in the Western Cape province. So while, as you said earlier, Julius Malema lauding Patricia de Lille and congratulating her in the start of a new political movement, she now becomes a contender against all other political parties. Well, Patricia de Lille did confirm that she had been approached by the ANC, by the EFF, to come over and join their ranks. But as we know, this independent spirit of Patricia de Lille, she then decided to go on her own, saying that she wants to change South African politics and do away with the old, she says, and bring in fresh blood. It's quite interesting in a person who's been in South African politics for more than 27 years saying that she wants fresh blood in South African politics. But this is a point that Patricia de Lille is trying to make. She wants to bring a whole lot more young people into political structures, particularly a young woman. There's still a lot for Patricia de Lille to clarify, and just to give exactly what a political platform is, whether she has espouses any political ideology, and also who is part of this new political movement. We do know we have 7 now former Cape Town City Councillors who resigned from their positions in the caucus, as well as the membership of the party coming over with Patricia de Lille. There could be some more people leaving that party and joining with Patricia de Lille, but she's saying that only within the next few weeks and up until January will she be unveiling and detailing more of her new political movement.
Lester, you're a man with your ear on the ground in the Western Cape. The so-called coloured vote is what Patricia de Lille is expected to capitalise on as we head into the election. Does it follow that the coloured people who may have followed her to the DA when she joined all those years ago will now make the move along with her to this new political home?
I think the issue of political affiliation and racial identity, particularly in Cape Town, in the Western Cape, is a very tricky and a very fluid issue. I know many people do not want to be described as a hegemony, but it does stand to reason that Patricia de Lille still has lots of support, particularly on the Cape Flats, particularly in Cape Town's townships. During that tumultuous time between Patricia de Lille and the Democratic Alliance, she was still going out and having community meetings on a weekly basis, going out to all areas across the city of Cape Town and still talking to residents. She feels that she has an ear on the ground. She's in fact said that she had commissioned her own Ipsos survey to really just gauge how much support she has. She says that she does have, according to that result, so that Ipsos survey says that she does have quite a bit of support. Also, if we look at the 2016 general or local government elections, the Democratic Alliance winning 2/3 of the Cape Town City Council. Patricia de Lille says because she was the face of that campaign and because she had, in her opinion, a fairly successful first term as Cape Town mayor, it was because of her that the Democratic Alliance managed to garner 2/3 of the vote in the Cape Town metropole. The Democratic Alliance, on the other hand, says no, that is not the case. That was the combined efforts of the party and its overall track record in other municipalities and in the governance of the Western Cape. It is going to be a fairly bruising battle, particularly between Patricia de Lille's new movement and the Democratic Alliance. It could equate it to somewhat of a grudge match. But as I said before, Patricia de Lille has now made herself enemies of all political parties contesting elections, all going out to canvass voters to get votes for the 2019 general elections. Just on that point, Patricia de Lille was asked whether she'll be going into any coalition government if she finds herself in that space. She says she's in it to win it, as she said. She's confident that her new political movement has the sway to convince voters, particularly in the Western Cape province, and she says that she may consider running for Western Cape Premier in the 2019 general elections.
Lester Kivitt, ENCA reporter, live for us out of Cape Town this afternoon.